Well, that's Sergio and his piece, a spotlight for Black History Month here on College COD, and I have so much respect for Sergio and his craft. Don't know what College COD would be without him and the passion that he poured into this organization and every organization that he's been a part of. But Jesse, that's going to pull us into our first match of the day here for College COD. We got Farmingdale State College going up against Fisher College and from the Northeast, and probably one of my standout matches for this week that I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, I think this was on everybody's kind of list once we've seen how good Farmingdale was this year. And the fact, of course, we all know how good Fisher College is. And when you look at this team, I mean, you got two of the top teams right now inside the Northeast Division. I mean, not just two of the top teams, the two top teams, both teams sitting at 4-0. And really, this is a battle of the top 10 inside of the top 25 as well. Both these schools inside of it. It's going to be a really, really good one between these two.
It really is. And I say it's probably one of my, standout matches because when I'm looking at Farmingdale State College, 2022 regular season, 12-8, no power rankings, no playoffs. They lost in LCQ. And now in 2023, this roster finds themselves top 9 in the power rankings this week. Jesse, we got Spades, CDL, Pubstar, Stim, and Tezza heading this roster.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like this iteration of the roster is really starting to make strides in the Northeast, right? Like, they have really struggled in the past. I mean, not this roster in particular, but the school in particular in the CCL has struggled in the past to kind of make big waves, make the big name for themselves. But this year, they've been a pleasant surprise. It's been very, very good. I mean, their hardpoint record looks fantastic. Search and destroy record looks really, really good as well. Their only blemish on the year is one control loss. So, I mean, when you're looking at this team overall, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with this year, and I'm very excited to see how they go up against a real tough matchup against Fisher College.
Well, so what I was thinking is the only thing standing in their way of a #1 spot in the Northeast is a star-studded roster of Fisher College. The Falcons, I mean, what's more to say when you look at this right away? You're looking at Gunzy, Ramby, Bala, Rex. I mean, 4 players who in your mind it looks like, okay, this is a top team in College COD, especially when you're looking at sophomore Dylan Rex, who is at the moment playing some of the best Call of Duty he has ever played in his career over in the Challenger Elites.
I was going to say, you put this team in Challengers, this could be a top 8 team in Challengers any day of the week, right? A very, very talented team nonetheless. Now, the one thing that you do have to kind of notice when looking at the starting roster right now for Fisher, we do not have Silly in the roster today. Silly is their normal 4th. Not playing. Bala is filling in. This will be his first official College COD matchup for Bala today. And if you don't know anything about Bala, he's actually a top 3 player, or a player who was on a top 3 pro team for Splitgate last year. So he plays top 3 at Splitgate Worlds. This is his first COD, his first real chance to kind of prove himself. And honestly, I really hope we see him pop off here today.
Yeah, as do I. And we take a look at the head-to-head between both of these teams. You were talking about, the record for Farmingdale State College. Both of these teams, 4-0 in the Northeast. So when I was saying that this is, a way to really cement yourself as #1 in the Northeast, I wasn't kidding, everybody. You look at, the records for their game modes, I think there's nothing really kind of separating these two teams other than that search and destroy record. When you look at Fisher Falcons, they have been a little bit slow in the search and destroy so far, only 2-2.
Yeah, and their 2 map wins coming on Hotel Search and Destroy, 2 map losses though coming on El Asil and Embassy. So just something to think about once we get towards our maps and modes a little bit later on. But it's just it's one of those things with these teams. It's who's going to come out on top, who's really going to be able to kind of find their way to find the success here today. And the big thing for Farmingdale is going to be taking advantage of that poor search and destroy record from the side of Fisher College, right? Like they got rid of one of the maps that me and you were both looking at them getting rid of. They got rid of Hotel Control. Now it's really just going to be about, hey, can we come out here today and can we really dominate inside search and destroy? Maybe steal a respawn, and they can take this series pretty easily.
Yeah, let's take a look at the maps and the modes, because you said they take out the Hotel Control. That was like the #1 key to victory that I was looking at from Farmingdale State College, because that blemish from Akron, a couple weeks ago was on the control. We get Elasilo this time, so we can see if, maybe if you're Farmingdale State, you're looking at, taking away the 2-3-5s. You want a Neslo Fisher to really cement yourself here in College COD. Well, first we got to get through the hard points, and we're hopping in with a Fortress hard point to start this off. We got Fisher Falcons, #3 in the top 25. Farmingdale State, #9. And Tez right away, not going to be able to break into P1. This is some good time for Fisher right off the bat.
and Stim right away going to try to go on a little bit of a flank here. Unfortunately, not going to walk away with that gunfight. And not only does Fisher get in the hill right away, they also flip these spawns out immediately as well. So that's a great start here for Fisher Esports. They're going to get the initial 30 seconds on the hill here. And honestly, if you're FSC right now, you might want to just chalk the rest of this time and rotate over towards New, but you'll be in for a poor surprise over there as well. You've already got 2 players set up from the likes of Fisher Esports in the back.
Yeah, this is not a player you want to go toe-to-toe with. Dylan Rex anchoring down these spawns in the back line for Fisher, while Bala, your Splitgate Pro, soaking up all the time that you need here inside of P2. Rex is going to find 2 on the rotation as well, so he is sitting pretty in the back line. The front line cannot be penetrated. Gunzy sitting top single, watching the rotations. I mean, this is some standout Call of Duty from Fisher Falcons. This is what you expect from a team. You know, 50% of this roster plays top 2 last year in Vanguard here in CCL.
Yeah, right. I mean, if you guys weren't aware, this was 2/4 of the Bay State roster from last year that finished second place. Like, you expect this team to be playing very, very well here, and they already are off to another very good start. And you can see Farmingdale State College, they think, hey, you know what, we need to just kind of reset here. Let's go back, get our bearings. They're going to fully wrap over towards P3. They're going to set up at the Fountain Hill to try to hold on to a good chunk of time here, but unfortunately, losing a few gunfights through the middle of the map, now it's all going to be about just shutting down this Fisher Esports pushing through the middle.
It's not an easy hill to break whatsoever against any team. P3 normally a money hill on Fortress, so good chance for Farmingdale to really turn the tide to battle. At a slow start to this Fortress, but there's always a time to pull things around. I see it in my ranked games all the time. And Tez on 3 in a row is watching the top maps rotation, able to cut down a few players. You saw Spades for a second just being annoying for the players trying to rotate out through open. Tez laying down. Vastnev in hand. Tez finds 3. That's a cruise missile for Farmingdale State. And still time continuing to take in their favor.
Massive kills going the way of Farmingdale there. I mean, you pretty much put all your eggs in one basket and going for this full rotation. You've at least gotten the front 30 seconds on this hill. If you can lock down any more time, that'd be great, but now more eyes are going to be focusing on our rotation over towards P4 inside of the bottom art building here. And I mean, if they can lock down more time here, shut down the rest of Fisher Esports, they'll be right back inside of this game. Right now, though, not looking great. Fisher does have a good amount of players around the hill here set up. They do have the back spawns as well, and with those 2 gunfights, 1 through middle of the map, there should be early time now going to Fisher.
Yeah, and Falcons still with double the points of the Rams here for our 3rd rotation. I mean, this setup not easy to break when you see the slaying prowess that your submachine guns are putting in. Gunzy, to be exact, 11-5. Rex putting space, holding the spawn trap too. I mean, this is something that you normally see teams, you know, utilize 3 players to spawn trap, but Rex doing it all on his own for a crisp 30 seconds uncontested from the Falcons, now up to 112. Finally, a break attempt from the Rams. CDL Popstar going to open it up. Back and forth trades, but split open. All green in the feed. It's going to be Gunzy now. Kind of turned around all alone. Kind of in a sinking ship. Is he going to be able to do anything? He finds the first one in spades up top, but this is still time for the Rams no matter. Yeah,
they get in, they get a little bit of time, but the problem again is they're just going to get out-rotated here. Over to Blacksmith. It's going to be Fisher Esports, the first team set up over in our 5th hill of the map. And, I mean, it's just so hard when you're constantly just running into the team that is just set up on head glitches, set up with their iron sights aimed down sight already. Very tough to win gunfights in this game when you don't get first shot, and you're seeing exactly why here Fisher Esports is such a good hardpoint team, continuing just to run the score up. If FSC want to come back in this game, it's going to have to come down to rotating early and actually start to win some of these gunfights on rotation, because right now it just has not been very good.
CDL Pubstar and Taz going to combine for a quick 3 for the break. Space finally going to come alive. Taz not able to shut down the flank through Gallows, so a break back in immediately out of the Falcons, and they shut down a little bit more. They clear out maps. You see the spawns for FSC deep into P3. Gonna have to rotate through this dangerous sightline that is Gates, and Rex with Gunzy watching this on a crossfire. It's seemingly impossible to break if you're FSC. Now, this is dangerous.
Yeah, extremely. And let's not forget when we went here the first time through, this was pretty much a full 60 for Fisher Esports off the rip of the game. And this is not an easy hill to get a full 60 on. This is usually a very scrappy hill, very back and forth. But again, Fisher Esports just doing a good job of controlling middle of the map, good job of not allowing FSC to overextend. But finally, you'll get a few gunfights, one through middle. You get a little bit of pressure on the hill, and you don't get a fully dominant hill this time through out of Fisher Esports right off the rip.
Talk about Taz right now, 17-11, almost finding number 18. He's going to have a little bit of backup from the rest of his squad. Popstar is going to combine for 2. Back into the hill he tries, though. Good sights from Rex. Keeping things uncontested for a moment before Fisher are going to hop right back in. You can look at those green arrows on the minimap looking for the rotation for P2. They were not able to get this last time around, so they put a little bit more emphasis, but still fall flat on their face. Look at that, Gunzy and Rex. Just an unstoppable duo right now for Falcons.
Yeah, very, very tough to be able to break that, especially when, like you said, you got Gunzy and Dylan Rex kind of chopping you down as soon as you try to make the cross through middle of the map to get into open, to get into closed, and it is just not working right now at all. You'll try to send a few players on the flank. Tez maybe sneaks through here, can't get past Dylan Rex, though, and this is going to be a really good hold and a very, very tough one here for FSC to try to break through.
You don't already see players slide in this game, but Rex using every bag, or every trick in his bag to hold that for now. Still, ultimately, I'm surprised the Rams get a break no matter what. They get the close spawns over towards P5. They break through the front, and now they flip things on a dime as the spawns in the back for Fisher. You need to start seeing these players rotate over the P3 because majority of the time that the Rams have right now, Jesse, is from this P3 rotation. They only have 2 players here. It's a 2v4.
Yeah, and Fisher realizes that, right? They're like, hey, you know what? We don't have these great spawns right now. Let's just send all 4 players through bottom side of the map and try to clear them out. And clear them out they will. A 4v2 on the next point, and it's all going to go the way of Fisher. They only lose 1 player in the rotation. And what this might actually even set up with Ramby coming through middle of the map is a flank behind the 3 players now on Farmingdale.
Oh, it's so free from Ramby to find the shutdown from Pubstar. It's going to force a little bit of a distraction effort out of FSC to turn around, clear out that player, and take even longer for this break attempt over towards P3. Rex is going to go down. That's an opening. The rest just going to funnel on through. The gates are open, so time to fly if you're FSC, though the kill's not going to go their way. It's again Ramby and Balla this time to find 2 on the inside. Gunzy, a little bit of a 1v1. Still going to win it out no matter. 32 seconds that the Fisher Falcons can grab. They can't win it right now, Jesse, but they can get at least 1 point away from winning this map.
Yeah, they don't have the tick, but like you said, 1 point off being able to close this out if they hold on to all of the time here. This map is looking dimmer and dimmer here for Farmingdale State College at the moment. We'll have to see if they can try to find something to turn this around, but it's going to be very, very tough. And now look at Balla as well. He's going to take a little bit of a route here through middle of the map. He's going to rotate through P1. Can't find the full rotation, but with the distraction down there, we'll actually open up some routes through the top side of the map, and they might just be able to get in and close the point. They only need 1.
Well, I mean, we talk about perfect hardpoint, Jesse, but that was a little bit skewed to the side of Fisher Falcons. They say, hey, you know, we may be even in series record, but our hard points are like none other. They almost get that 100-point club. It's 120 to 250, and they really show just what this Falcons roster is made of.
Yeah, I think if you were really kind of wondering what was going to happen with this Fisher Esports roster, and oh man, you know what, they lost a few players last year. They might not be as good as they were. I mean, I think that without Silly, you can even look at this roster here playing today and you can still look and say, wow, this roster is damn good. I mean, the gun skill that we just saw from Gunski in the middle of the map there, Dylan Rex having one of his best seasons ever right now on the MW2 title. This Fisher Esports team is going to be a tough matchup all year long for whoever goes up against them. And Farmingdale State College losing their first hard point of the year, and I mean, in a very swift fashion as well.
Yeah, it's not what I was expecting when you look at, you know, Farmingdale State, who 2-0 in Fortress Hardpoint, 4-0, or sorry, 5-0 in Hardpoints overall. They get smoked by Fisher College. Now, going into the Search and Destroy just kind of proves our point, Jesse, that even more is that if you're going to steal this series away from Fisher for FSC, it's got to be in the 2-3-5s you are thinking. But a couple players, you know, stood out to me in that game, and we're kind of looking back at it when we're talking about it. I think I do have to say Ramby and Balla from Fisher College, 2 players that, you know, we didn't hype up like we hyped up Gunzy and Rex, but really doing everything that they needed to do throughout that hard point. You got Balla getting the rotations, Ramby always pinching, finding the flanks, and really making it hard for FSC to really do anything.
I mean, the second set of rotations over to Fountain, Gunsey just pops off a 1v3 on the hill after they get broken from the front, right? I mean, that's just not things that happens with every single player, but you're absolutely correct. I mean, a very good first match here in the CCL here for Bala. Doesn't really have to do too much either. You know, you got the support of a very talented team with you. It's a good way to kind of get your feet planted, to get a good start for yourself here. Fisher Esports, a very good primary team, a very good team as well inside of the Academy League as well. This team has players for days that can come in and fill up these roster spots if they need to. And yeah, they're going to be a tough team to beat. Now, if you're FSC and you want to be able to come back in this game, you were talking about it needs to be your 2 3s and your 5s. They definitely have an opportunity still to make their way back into this series. We've seen Fisher look weak at times inside of Search and Destroy. Now, no, we're not playing either of the Search and Destroys that they have lost yet here today.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, you still got to look at that as their weakness, and this needs to be a spot where you're trying to pounce on them.
Before we get into the maps and modes for our map number 2, let's take a look back at our scoreboard because, you know, for FSC, you know, a slow game for Spades and Stim. Still a little bit of time, you know, throughout the series to pick it up. You know, maybe a little bit of jitters going up against a team like Fisher Falcons. You know, you just got to get over that hump. Game 1's done. Going into the Search and Destroy, it's time to, you know, step up to the plate because you had Tez. Man, Tez was doing everything he could to keep that team together in map number 1. 24 and 19, 18 non-traded kills, almost 3,000 damage. The second highest damage in the entire lobby. Tez was, looking fantastic for FSC.
Yeah, and running the AR role, right? And Tez is going to need to, again, kind of step it up here into the back half of this series if they want to have a chance to kind of be able to take the victory here today. Now, yes, you know, there are 4 players on the team, and yes, Tez popped off in that map 1, but he needs some help. The rest of the players need to show up here, especially against a team like Fisher. You cannot just be a one-man wrecking crew against 4 very dominant forces on the other side of the stage. So we'll have to see if they can come out and they can come away with a victory, but we'll take one more look at our maps modes. We didn't get a real big chance to dive into it before that map number 1 started here. The interesting thing that comes through for me, Colin, coming into this one that we look at is that Hotel Search and Destroy. This is the only map that Fisher has found any success on in terms of Search and Destroy so far. 2-0 on this map mode combination. So I think if you're Fisher, you're feeling okay about going to a Hotel S&D, but it still needs to be something you keep your eye out on because that's going to be our main big talking point here is if Farmingdale can take the Search and Destroys and even possibly a control here, that's when this series could get very scary here for a team like Fisher.
To be honest, Jesse, if you're looking at this from the perspective of Fisher College, you won the map set for this. I mean, you avoid all the blemishes on your record. You get an LSELO control, but you haven't played LSELO control just yet, so we don't know how the team is on here. You avoid those losses in Search and Destroy, and, you know, I think this is exactly, I guess, your series to lose right now if you're Fisher College with the way things have played out. It's really going to show that for FSC, I mean, you really have your work cut out for you if you want to be that number 1 team in the Northeast. This is 100% the hardest match you're going to have in your division, and I think there's, you know, no better story right now than Farmingdale State Esports and the run that we've seen in 2023. Now, I'm going to piggyback off your kind of setup that you were talking about in the scoreboard. Tez does need help. And I think when we're breaking it down into the head-to-head, it's got to be the submachine guns. When you're looking at a Hotel Search and Destroy, it's going to be up to, you know, the sniper or the AR to find an opening pick, but it's really those subs that are going to do, you know, a lot of the work throughout the middle of the round. So I think you're going to have to find somebody eventually who's going to go toe-to-toe with Gunsey and shut down that aggression that you're going to get from him. Yeah,
you need your dirty work players, right? Spades and Carbonize need to be kind of popping off here. They didn't have a great map number 1. The 2 subs, like you called out, need to be playing a lot better here in the map number 2. I'll be interested to see if anybody tries to pull out a sniper at any point over towards the B-bomb side of the map. We all know kind of bedroom out towards the luggage area can be quite a good spot to kind of pull out the boomstick if you're going to pull one out on this map. So we'll see if either team kind of decides to try to do that here today. But it'll be interesting, right? I think if you're Farmingdale State, though, going into the Search and Destroy, I think the main goal is going to be trying to just slow down, right? You don't want Fisher College just to roll momentum from map 1 over and into map number 2. You want to slow it down, take at least round number 1, slow the game down, slow the pace down. Don't let the likes of Fisher College just run you over round after round after round of this game, because it will get out of control very, very quickly, and you'll find yourself out of this series in a 3-0 very fast if you let that come through in this map number 2.
And I don't want to say, you know, this is I guess a tough game mode for Fisher College. We know they're 2-2 in this series, but I mean, when you look at the roster, it's hard to really put anything against this roster when you have, I guess, Rex. Originally, we didn't know if he was going to be playing in this game today, but now that he's here, it makes things even more difficult for FSC to play against. I think I was mentioning earlier that he's having one of the best years of Call of Duty that I've ever seen him in his performances. Right now, number 4 internationally in Challenger Elites when it comes to the kill-death ratio overall, and inside North America, number 1. So you look at him and the performance that he's having in Challenger Elites playing for Convoy Gaming, and how that's going to transfer into collegiate play. It's going to make it really hard for teams in the Northeast to, take any map, let alone a search and destroy off of him. If Rex is playing like he was playing in that hard point throughout the whole series, this is definitely going to be, like I said, Fisher's match to lose. So I'm happy that at least we saw Tez was able to find some success against him. That should keep Rex, at bay for a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, as we're getting into the search and destroy, Jesse, it's still kind of laying on the shoulders of the submachine gun players. He needs those dirty work players, like you say.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right, Dylan Rex is having one of the best years I think I've ever seen in Challengers right now. Just the pure ability to slay out the other team right now. Rex has been on another level. Like you said, number 1 KD inside of all North America Challengers Elite Stage 2. Absolutely ridiculous numbers. I think another big thing, Colin, if you're kind of wanting to pick and prod right now at Fisher College and how you might be able to kind of take advantage of them here in this map number 2, I think you need to try to kind of solo out and single out Bala inside of this map. Probably doesn't have a ton of S&D experience with the team yet. Just filling in for today with Silly not being in the roster and being able to play. If you can find him, solo him out in a lot of the situations, if you can figure out where he's playing in Hotel, get an easy first blood there, solo out that player, and be able to kind of swing at a man advantage in your way early round constantly. That's going to be a good recipe for success, I think.
Yeah, I think what you're looking for FSC to really break down the support beams that are built up around him, see if they can get that opening pick, but we're going to have to wait and find out. A little bit of tech issues coming through from the team, so we're going to toss to a quick break, and we'll return with the search and destroy on the other side. We'll see you in a bit. Welcome back, everybody. Hopping right into the action with map number 2 between FSC and Fisher College. Sniper is going to be out for Gunzy, immediately clipped by Pubstar. A second one from Stim. The sub's already online, Jesse. It's what we talked about. It's what we love to see. And look at this. You want to see them single out Bala? Well, they leave them to last.
Yeah, they do leave them to last. And that's exactly the round that you needed if you're Farmingdale State College. You come out, you get a good first round, you get that first blood. Everybody flies forward. The trades go in your favor. It's exactly what you need to do if you're going to find success here against this Fisher College team. A great first round there.
Well, you talked about it a little bit, going into this, what can you do if you're FSC to, I guess, shut down Fisher Esports in these search and destroys? You know that Fisher haven't looked the brightest in this game mode. And I think personally, Jesse, when you're looking at it, it's going to be down to some systematic plays. Looking for that first blood, not getting over aggressive. If you find that first blood, okay, that's good. Let's back up now and play for, either retake or a bomb plan.
Absolutely, and you can see they're playing very passive in this defense. Nobody really getting over aggressive. I love this little angle you're trying to pull here from Tez, but unfortunately gets sniffed out. Gunzy sees the door creak, shoots the bullets through it, will find that first blood. And now with Fisher putting this bomb down and having kind of top control here over by Luggage, this could be a really tough round to hold on to, but yeah. Pubstar will find the first and will at least even us up in a 3v3.
Look at Gunzy sitting nice and pretty down into Luggage, just has to bide his time, and it looks like he's going to get aggressive to Patio, so every angle checked for Fisher at the moment. 23 seconds for the retake. Dylan Rex playing all the way back towards Spot. Stim's going to overrun Bala towards the desk, though. Gunzy comes alive. Bala from the grave finds the nade on the spades, and Stim, only one left. Going to have to go toe-to-toe to Rex through Spot. It's not an easy gunfight to take with such a narrow window, Jesse. And Fisher immediately with the bounce back into round 2.
Yeah, I mean, this map can definitely be a little bit more offensive-sided, right? You've got a lot of control to be able to try to get that bomb down. I think if I'm looking at the likes of Farmingdale, I think something that you might need to make an adjustment on here, you either need to get a player up in top bedroom or inside of the bottom hall underneath top bedroom, just to kind of get a player on the cross. Don't let them just get that bomb down completely for free. I know, yes, you don't want to give that life away, and you do want to play for a retake. It was almost successful there, but I still think putting that bomb down for free can just be such an advantage and almost waste 10 seconds off the clock really before you can find any success here on this map. So might be something they might want to look forward to in their next defense.
Looks like Gunzy's going to take a little bit of your advice, Jesse. You got Sniper for Rex. Don't know how that missed, but you had Gunzy bottom bedroom watching the cross, and somebody did cross at Spades with the bomb in hand. Still kind of toying with death is CDL Pubstar, just trying to get into a position on top of that Godheady, but now we get a nice Ryan Switchy free cam of Spades, just trying to edge his way forward to the top staircase and went out on a gunfight to get this bomb down. But while this is happening, Jesse, look at the minimap and look at player number 7. Stim has no idea. Stim has no idea at all, and Ramby completely is going to throw FSC through a loop. Now they're going to have to be forced into a position to do something.
Oh, but Bala gets a little over-aggressive. Numbers will stay in the favor of Fisher College, at least for the time being. Now everybody else trying to wrap through middle of the map. You'll get a 2 versus 2 exchange here, but the bomb is down. You need to go and bit that bomb. And with Gunzy being available up in top bedroom, makes it that much harder to pick that bomb back up, and Gunzy will finish off the final 2 in the round, and Fisher will take a defense here and take 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah. You know, I'm not a fan of CDL Pubstar throughout that round. He's just kind of dancing with Dylan Rex throughout luggage, and he didn't do anything other than, you know, kind of snake him out towards that top heady. I needed to see him provide a little bit more support to your bomb carrier, Tez, to recovering that, finding Gunzy up top and giving a little bit more of an avenue towards that bomb. You could dealt with Rex any day of the week throughout that round, but just kind of a little bit of a mute point throughout that whole situation was CDL Pubstar. So going back onto defense, going to have to look to see if he's a little bit more aggressive on that. And you asked for somebody in bedroom. Well, Tez not there right away, but
he's flirting with the idea.
Yeah, he's lurking.
Sitting up in the top, you know, just trying to see if they want to try to get aggressive here. A couple stuns and nades will come through. Ramby stays alive for now. Pubstar just trying to take some shots through middle of the map. Cannot find the shots onto A. And Ramby will actually walk away with that gunfight victory as well, and gets into bottom bedroom as well.
Yeah, Stim, though, aggressive towards Shandy. Gets a big turnaround, although, well, he does. The rest of his team falls flat, and Fisher start walking closer and closer to the finish line. I know it's only the halfway point for themselves, but a 2-round gap into the search and destroy. And Jesse, I haven't really seen too many mistakes from this team in Hotel.
No, and that's back-to-back rounds where I think you see mistakes coming out of the side of Farmingdale. I mean, you sit back, you wait, and you're just waiting for Farmingdale to make a mistake. I mean, even in the round where Farmingdale gets first blood, they push out immediately, and instantly you lose out on 2 of the players inside of the round, and Fisher's looking sweet for themselves there. So it's just something that if you're Farmingdale, I think you need to just slow it down. You need to kind of play to your own pacing here. You can't just be flying at Fisher, who is set up and waiting for you, because it's just not going to work out.
Repositions over towards the couches. Sniper in the hand of Bala. I think that's 3 offenses where you see the sniper in 3 different hands of Fisher College. Just one after the other, switching amongst each other. Inside of the chaos, you saw a player from FSC go down, and Bala's going to find a second one with the sniper. A trade back from Sim, but this bomb is down, and numbers against Sim in a 1 versus 3. This is a song we have sung all game long here in Map 2. This Hotel Search and Destroy has not been friendly for FSC whatsoever, and they know they have him trapped in bedroom.
Yeah, Stim, not in a great spot here. Yeah, and he'll get peeked out immediately there by Dylan Rex. Might actually find an avenue to get out here, though. At least you get to the top of the ladder. Stay alive for now. But Bala should spot this cross. Actually hasn't seen the player yet. Will find them with the snipe at the end there, though. Wasn't sure. Maybe might have been able to catch a timing on Bala if he was still looking underneath the garage there. But no, just in the back, sees him on the cross. Instantly, sniper comes out, and bap. We'll see you later.
Look, Jesse, I will say, you know, people lie. Stats usually don't lie. Today they lied to me. I mean, Farmingdale State College, 12-1 map count, and Fisher College. You know, I know it's not a team that, you know, we got to take lightly, but they are. This is light work for them right now. They are walking through Farmingdale State College in this map 2 like it is just another day in the life of our Falcons, and they look good while they're doing it. They're going to completely read Spades in the corner of Freezer. Gunzy's going to immediately put this bomb down. Now looking from the outside in. At least you get the equalizer, but the retakes for Farmingdale State, you need somebody to go big.
Yeah, and you got Pubstar in the back of the sniper, so probably won't be the most influential player here. If they can maybe open this door up, find a pick, that'd be probably your only bet, but they're not going to give them anything here with the sniper yet. Yeah, every player in and behind some sort of cover. At least on the other side, Tez will find the first, so that might give them an entry here into the zone.
Pubstar just kind of flirting with some information. Stim's gonna get the better of Gunzy. 1 versus 3. This time the other way. It's Bala, the new kid on the block for the CCL, trying to deadlift his team to a 5-1 standpoint, but gonna lay prone in the doorway, and Stim watching over his teammate gets the job done. And that puts Farmingdale up to number 2 inside the hotel. They keep Fisher away from map points, and they stay alive here in map 2.
Big round victory there, too, for the likes of Farmingdale. You'd much rather be down 4-2 than be down 5-1, that is for sure. So, you know, you walk away with that round, kind of give yourself still another round to play with here, another round that you can throw away if you need to inside of this game. But, I mean, man, this is not going to be an easy comeback. Spades, again, underperforming here inside of this map. We said that they needed to pull it up, needed to play a little bit better to give Tez a better shot here inside of this game. Open up some space for Tez. Get aggressive. Spades still 0-5, though. On Donut Watch, we need to hope that he can find some success here. But, Colin, all 4 players are running forward, and the bomb is still in spawn.
And Bala finds a pick onto Pubstar over towards A. That's on that Godheady. Completely disjoints FSC at the scene. Tez, though, heroic in this round, connects with a nice 2-piece inside of Restaurant to bring this back into 2 versus 2. Bomb going down at A while this is happening. So this is kind of turned around in favor of FSC, yeah.
It's got to be a design strat. Leave the bomb and spawn. Everybody run over towards B. We'll send one player back towards A.
Stim!
Find some success. Tez will find the trade at least. So it's going to be a 1v1 to end the round off. Tez can't get away. It would have been for the ace. Bala gets a big win there and going to be able to go get the defuse. It's going to be a 5-2 lead here for Fisher.
And Bala lets him know, too. No communication there from FSC. The communication must have been lost in the kill from Stim. He gets sniped from top catwalk, and Tez dives his way all the way across Atrium to try to find safety in Statue, but leaving himself open to Bala, who's got a Vaznev in his hand. So 5 rounds for Fisher College. One round away from taking map number 2 and going up 2-0 in the series, and continuing to look flawless so far in College COD for the Northeast Division. Can FSC turn things around and ring off 4 in a row?
Bala's just going to try to take a shot through the bottom of the wall there. Won't find anything. But Gunzy will invest the glide bomb. This is going to at least play the players off of the A side. No, Gunzy
no.
finds Ramby with the glide. Unfortunately, though, the rest of the players here on the side of Fisher will find a trade back in their favor. So we're going to have a 3v3. Really no map control, though, yet for Fisher on the round.
Oh, Gunzy going to do the dirty work for FSC. And Popstar, he's going to run with it. Gets aggressive towards the Godhead. He finds Rex looking the wrong way. Bomb in hand of Gunzy. Wrapping back towards B, where they're going to get a plant for free, Jesse. But a 2v3 retake for the map if you're Fisher.
And let's not forget in the last round, though, Farmingdale did retake this on Fisher's last offense in a worse situation. So this is definitely still possible.
Oh my goodness, Popstar from the top ropes takes down Bala. He only had a pistol, so it's a tough gunfight no matter what. But Gunzy, 1 versus 3 for the map. 26 seconds, he's got time to play with. But Spade's going to hop this bomb right away. They know where Gunzy is. The side door, they jump out the back. Spades meets him at the tables and takes him down. So FSC, they stay alive so far. 5-3.
2 bomb plants in a row for Fisher here. They get the bomb down over towards that A site, but unfortunately they can't hold on to it inside of that, and it's going to be another good round here. Spades actually will put the bomb down to just make sure they can take Gunzy out. They know they had more than enough time. We'll wrap back, get back on the bomb, get the defuse to close that round out, but definitely not bad. They can still make their way back inside of this game here, but it's going to have to be 1 round at a time. Spades gets their first of the game there as well, so Donut Watch no more. And we'll
Yeah.
see if FSC can finally take another offense. They just need to find success like they did in their first round.
And it's a good call to take against Gunsy to play the 2v1. He's not a player you need to take lightly whatsoever. Spades going for the aggressive play again towards top patio. Balla, not sure if he still has the sniper, but he's going to get the checks with all the utility being used. Gunsy to back him up. Actually gets bombed. No, the player down towards the patio. Wasn't the bomb carrier, but gives Balla enough space to pick them apart and dismantle FSC. Oh no, turn it off. Turn it off. It's an assassination for the win, and Fisher Esports go up 2-0.
Yeah, 6-3 victory to close that one out there. The assassination, just to, put the extra little insult to injury to close this game out. Oh, no, Gutsy. Oh, Dylan, you naughty boy. Steals the final assassination away from Gunsy. Just wanted to pad the stats a little bit there. Wasn't happy with the 6 and 4. So Gunsy, you got enough kills inside of the game with 11. I'm taking one more here. You don't get that 12.
Just, you know what that was? That was good sportsmanship from Rex. That was good sportsmanship to not allow the assassination to go through. A little bit of BM at the end there. I mean, you saw a couple of body shots, too, from Balla, just letting FSC know who the top dog, or the top Falcon, I guess, is in their division. As now Fisher Esports, they climb even farther up in this match, 2-0 after that search and destroy. Near flawless, too. I wasn't seeing too many mistakes as we look over the replays.
Yeah, not too many mistakes at all from Fisher. I think maybe their only 2 weak rounds were the 2 rounds where they had a man advantage and got bombed down over at the B site, right? And unfortunately just not able to hold on to it. I think if I'm looking at Fisher Esports and I'm maybe trying to think of a way that maybe they could play those retakes a little bit better, a way that I would like to maybe see them in the future play that hold, is you get the bomb down and you plant towards the defensive side of the map and you play towards back parking as opposed to playing and trapping yourself into the site. It can work fairly well for you as well, as opposed to just hiding in corners and getting picked off one at a time in corners that are fairly predictable. Can definitely work as well. You just keep peeking the back, make sure nobody's on the bomb, but I know it's always hard to want to give up site control. So
it's crazy the dynamic that this team has, too. I mean, first 3 offenses or defenses we saw from Fisher, we saw 3 different players with the sniper in hand. It was in Gunsy's in round 1, it was in Rex's round 3, and then round, I think, 5, we saw it in hands of Balla for the rest of the game. And the trust that we're seeing in Balla from Fisher College, I love to see it. He's not just a player, there's like, okay, he's coming from Splitgate, let's put him on, bomb duty for the search and destroy. No, Gunsy was on bomb duty, and he was doing a damn good job with it. 9 non-traded kills, 11 and 5, doing the dirty work for Fisher Falcons yet again after a standout performance on the hard point, Jesse. And this Fisher Falcons team, it gets more dangerous the more I see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I honestly think it's the right call with Gunsy as well. Get your submachine gun player to be the aggressive player with the bomb. Make them push their way up. And also, I mean, I know not all the stats have come through here on the scoreboard, but I mean, just Gunsy 4 first bloods as well in 10 rounds. That's a big amount of first bloods. Yes, you do get 1 first step there on the board as well, but those 4 first bloods are really big in terms of helping your team find success in a lot of those rounds. And you can tell that they were just playing very confidently, just kind of letting him do whatever he wanted on the map. And once Gunsy found that first blood in that opening, it just made getting the bomb down and closing the rounds that much easier for Fisher Esports.
And now, for FSC, what does that mean? It's got to be a reverse sweep if you want to stamp your name in that number 1 spot for Northeast against one of the toughest teams we've seen so far in College COD, the number 3 team in the power ranking, the tied for number 1 team in their division. We got LSCLO Control coming up next, folks. A quick little break while we get things set up, and we'll see you on the other side with more College COD. Welcome back, folks, to College COD week number 3. We got our match number 1 underway, and we're already into the threatening side of things if you are an FSC fan. Down 0-2 to the Fisher Falcons. Looking for the reverse sweep now, Jesse, starting on the LSCLO Control. And after watching, maps 1 and 2, I know this is going to be a very difficult thing to pull off.
It is, especially when you look at LSCLO Control being the only map that Farmingdale has lost this year before this series. So
yeah,
they were kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, because they got rid of hotel control. They didn't have to worry about playing the map that you have Fisher College 4 and 0 on. But now you got to replay the map that you have lost one time this year. Now down 0-2, backs completely up against the wall. It's not going to be an easy time. I think Fisher College are probably going to take it here. But, I mean, if you're FSC, prove me wrong. Come out and take this map.
And, I mean, this whole series has been manipulated by Fisher Esports when it comes down to the picks and bans for our maps and modes. I mean, Fisher are the ones who banned Hotel Control, Jesse. So...
Yeah.
They knew right away that, you know, although it's their strongest control map, it's also Farmingdale State's strongest control map. So I said it, going into the Search and Destroy, I think this is Fisher's series to lose with the way that this map, or this series, has been laid out with us over the maps and modes.
And a very strong, dominant start here to the A control zone. Tez is in the back line, though, might be able to make a play. But I think what all Tez is going to try to do is get exits here. Stop these players from being able to get out easily and go over towards that B zone, which is the easier zone to be able to hold on to and be able to control. But at this point of the game, though, you are not in a great spot. At least a few of your players will spawn up towards that top left-hand side of the minimap. You can make a wrap back over towards B and stop down the player who is on the hill right now. But, man, I mean, you are in a scary spot right now. Fisher College are just kind of dominating the middle of the map right now.
Finally, a little bit of a break in the action for FSC, and Spades is going to line up two. Clears out Rex from field, and it's going to leave Gunzy, the farthest one, pushed up towards Tools. They knew he was on B, went immediately from A to B, but weasels away into Tools while he waits for the rest of his team to come off of spawn. Ramby's going to get some nice damage down to the player in Tools, but look at Gunzy, somehow found his way all the way up. He's going to clear out Spades from inside the window. Second one onto Stim, and there's the floodgates wide open as 3 go down for FSC.
Oh, they only get one player to spawn up on that top left-hand side of the minimap. Everybody else spawning up in the bottom left-hand side. A very, very far trip to make it over towards B, especially when you've got a stack on the point. 2 players on already. Only one tick left to go, and they might just get it before anybody from FSC can even challenge, and they absolutely do. 2 players left on the hill, and that first round very quickly, very swiftly goes to the way of Fisher Esports.
And the trophies make it a safe haven. Everybody's able to set up, like you say. They stack the point. It goes fast, and Spades was literally the only hope. If he was able to get on and contest for even a couple more seconds, you had Tez on the flank working through kegs to kind of break all of that. But Fisher, I mean, what a way to really dominate round number 1 here in the control. They get, I think they capped A in a matter of like 10 seconds.
Well, I mean, it's easy
round.
behind Guncy popping almost a 3-piece right off the rip, right?
Yes.
I mean, you win the first one top, you jump out, chow the player on the Godheady, win the second gunfight, and then you almost win the third gunfight through the top side of the other of the defensive side of the map. So, I mean, off of a very strong play from Guncy to open up the initial part of the map, they get that A zone nice and swiftly here. But this time through, FSC not finding the same amount of success, actually down a man already, and having to completely slow down their push before they decide which way they want to go with their initial offense here.
And they lose out on 3, and then they return the favor towards Fisher, trying to open up a lane towards A. They stop the clock at 54 seconds. Spade on the inside, but not a lot of help throughout this one. Stim meeting Paulo towards Locker is going to be the first one to drop. Rex the trade. A lot of nades going to be spammed out. Spade's in trouble, but he has the backup from the inside still. It's not where Fisher is coming from. Rex just going to contest from boxes. Stim still waiting for a chance to strike. They're going to chow out, and Rex wins that all day, every day. Stim's going to go down, so that's 2 players lost towards A. Only a tick collected. And Ball is already hunting this player down towards B.
Yeah, Tez was the solo player over towards B, maybe just being a little bit of a distraction here. But the problem is everybody on the side of FSC spawning deep in their spawn right now because of the forward progression that you have from Fisher Esports on the map. Dylan's in a really annoying spot as well. Rex just setting up top 5 in a row. Now 1 kill off finding another cruise missile here in the match for the likes of Fisher Esports. And I mean, if you're FSC, you got to just try to kind of get together and make one solid push towards something, but it doesn't help that every time one of your players peeks their heads out right now, they are just getting picked apart by Fisher Esports.
And Ramby was playing a little bit of a game of cat and mouse over towards B, just trying to force these FSC players into the position of the rest of his team, and is successful enough to be down to 10 seconds to get to A as fast as you can. Guns is still being so annoying in your backline, and that's going to be the round over as soon as they clear out these 2 players towards A. Rex is going to strike the first one. Tez, the last alive, and he falls. So 2 quick rounds from Fisher Falcons in the control. only give up a tick of progression towards A. So right now, when you're looking at this, in case it goes to a round 5, Jesse, it's 6-1 in tick control.
Yeah, all you need to do now, if you're Fisher, I mean, even if it does go all the way to that round 5 and you want that final defense, all you got to do realistically, you cap 2 more points here of progression. You're guaranteed that final defense because FSC can only get 6 points maximum inside of their next offense if they even get one here. And that'll be the big case, right? Can they shut down Fisher, or will Fisher just take this away in a 3-0 fashion, not only in the control, but also in the series? We'll have to find out. But FSC needs a better break-off than we saw in their last defense.
The confidence hasn't been the best out of this team, but this time they step up to the plate and they knock him down. Rex, only one now pushed up out towards Antenna. He's going to drop a trophy at his feet, wait for Gunsy to make a play, though. Nice shots from Spades through the wall. Going to relinquish that player of his positioning and leaves Gunsy alone in this position, looking for a cruise missile as he's on 5 in a row. We saw that Rex was able to get a cruise missile, so if he did, that would have been 2. Unfortunately, for the side of Fisher Falcons, they aren't going to be able to gain that second kill streak. Well, what they do gain, Jesse, is control towards B. You're going to need something big out of the 2 players that are sitting in the Fisher spawn.
Yeah, you absolutely do. And, oh no, they both fall. They child the same angle, and Spades and Pubstar both go down. You've also got Ramby sitting up on top patio right now, just being in a nuisance. And the stack, once again, over towards the B zone is in. 3 players on. That tick is going up extremely quickly here. Dylan Rex pushes through the back as well, finds a 2-piece, and they are very close to finishing this off once again here.
Yeah, the Falcons, I mean, the Titans of the Northeast showing exactly why they are number 3 in the power rankings, why this team is a force to be reckoned in College COD. It's because no matter what, like you said, Jesse, whether it's the players on the bench or it's the players on the starting roster, they are deadly, they are dangerous, and it is a combined lethal weapon out of Fisher Falcons. The B zone's going to get finished off. Another minute's going to be added to the clock. 19-19 in lives, Jesse, but with that B zone gone, that's the hard part done for Fisher.
Yeah. Arguably the easier of the 2 zones left here for the likes of Fisher. If you're FSC, the main goal right now is to clear out middle of the map, and you need to get a player pushed up all the way down the A side of the map into the Fisher's portion of the map, because what that will do if you're FSC is it will actually force them to spawn out top green. You can see exactly where player 4 just spawned up, and player 3. It's the furthest away from A that they can spawn, and if they can keep them spawning up there, you have a decent chance of putting this round away with only 50 seconds left.
Not a lot of time to work with if you're FSC or if you're Fisher looking for this A zone, but slowly and surely FSC trying to claw their way and crawl through the series. So much damage could be done to them, but it's looking like CDL Pubstar in radio. Biggest bet on trying to take these players out. Spade's going to have a well-tossed nade up top to take down Bala, dancing alongside Rex, but it's going to be Rex from above to cut him down. 23 seconds. Tez, an angle, shot down immediately. Rex breaks on in, and he's looking for a little bit more. Team nade from Randy, going to shut him down, and Gunsy falls as well. But Randy, can he be the hero from the play that he just blew up?
Yeah, unfortunately, that team nade really halts that push here from Fisher. The only player really left in the back line that can be a big portion of this round is Bala. Will hop onto the zone, will at least get one, but not going to bide enough time here for the Fisher Esports players to get over towards A. I think this round is just about over here, Colin. I don't think that anybody's going to be able to touch, and no, they won't. At the very least, if you're Fisher there, you get 2 ticks of progress, or you actually get 1 full zone and a tick over towards the other. So you will guarantee yourself that final defense. So you got 2 chances now to put it away on defense here.
Yeah, I mean, it's what we said, though. Going into that round number 3, you needed that round win. You hope to kind of at least keep Fisher at 1 tick of progression, but you let all 3 towards B go. So, I mean, that is a scary thought process in the back of your head, at least if you're Farmingdale State. Tez isn't alone in this map, unlike the Hardpoint. He's got Spades 18 and 14, you know, picking up a lot of the heavy work here in LSELO control. You're going to need to start seeing CDL Pubstar and Stim start to show up in this game if you want to take them to a round 5, let alone win this map.
On the first 3 of 4 kills going the way of Fisher's, not the start that you want. At the very least, if you're Tez, you're able to get onto the point. Need to watch out for Gunsy just playing this annoying area top offense once again here. Oh, and Tez might actually be able to, or Gunsy might actually be able to find them off through middle of the map. But nope, not going to be the case. B-Zone will start to go up in terms of progression as everybody on the side of FSC starts to push their arrows forward.
This is a strong moment right now from FSC. As long as they clean up Ramby, it might be the B-Zone gone, but Ramby dives out, finds not one but two onto both players that were sitting there. There's a split effort from FSC into A and B, and they only get one tick of progression from each zone. Jesse, lives are still even. 55 seconds now. Not sure how I feel about that play.
It's something to work with, right? They can try to make their way through. Tez is going to invest the cruise missile here. Find nothing out of it as they were trying to get Bala out of the top of antenna. At the very least, Spades is able to sniff the player out with the gun right afterwards, but this is going to take a lot of gunfight wins over towards A if they want to find success and they want to get onto the zone, but only 1 out of 2 in terms of the trades coming through here for FSC, and now Stim really by themselves in the defensive side of the map.
Yeah.
Needs to push through. This flank could be everything.
Oh, he doesn't even know. Spade's going to pick up that first kill, and that allows Stim for the full flank. 3 go down for Fisher. The time's going to be stopped at 19 seconds. All the spawns for Fisher Falcons all the way over towards the top left portion of the mini-map. You got Ramby in the back spawn, but it's going to take a while to get over towards A. A-zone's going to get capped. Another minute's going to be added on. Still lives even, so this one is not done just yet. And a big win there from CDL Pubstar to continue to just pour some of this pressure on to the Fisher Falcons throughout their offense.
1 minute left to go. The big player in this round is going to be player 7 if Pubstar can make their way through the top side. Unfortunately, not able to do so, and that's actually 3 big kills now going to the way of Fisher Esports, and this is something very similar to what we saw in the first defensive round from Fisher. They just allowed that B zone to go. Everybody kind of pushes forward. They get full control of the side of the map for FSC. A few of the players do end up going down here, though, so FSC does have an opportunity now to push through field.
I mean, it just takes one quick 4 down, and we've seen players win with a lot less. Rex is going to invest the first streak. Trophies are going to be there, but it hits the truck, so Rex is going to find CDL Pubstar. Maybe the nades helped out. Who knows what it was, but it's a kill nonetheless from the kill streak to allow the Falcons to fly. 9 lives to 5, 21 seconds, and here comes Bala all the way through the back top office area. Pubstar's going to shut him down, but is it going to be enough? It's a 3 versus 8, Jesse, and there's just no time to wait. Everybody has to go, and they need to go now. Fisher Falcons, we talked about them. This might not be an easy game, but they make it look so crisp and look so controlled. Over the best of 5, it's a 3-0 sweep, and the Falcons soar into the #1 spot of their division.
Oh, they absolutely do. The Fisher Esports came out and just put on another very dominant show of force here for them. I mean, this team, we said it before, the former Bay State roster from last year, they want to get revenge on the CCL. They finished 2nd place last year. That is a place where nobody wants to finish. I mean, if you're not first, you're last. But you know they want to come through with the victory there. And Fisher Esports comes back through. They get the first victory that they need to against another very big school here, and FSC. And now this is their good start. This is exactly what they need. I mean, I don't know very many teams that are left in this division that are really going to put up a big fight here for Fisher Esports. They very likely could go undefeated again this regular season. And if that's the case, I mean, get ready to see these guys back inside of a CCL LAN and putting on their absolute best performance. Because this was with a sub today, and they just dominated the second best team in the division.
Yeah, this is without Silly. And, I think... we're saying this is, this is with the sub. This is without Silly, but I think Bala was definitely a key factor in this game for why they did what they did today. I mean, a player making his debut in College COD, and you couldn't ask for a better sub if you're Fisher Falcons going into this match versus FSC. Bala, just to give him his flowers, he put in the work. He made it look comfortable for the rest of his team, and that goes to say, the rest of the team made it look comfortable for Bala, so it goes hand in hand for what we saw out of Fisher Falcons today. I think that, this team is going to be a treat for the rest of this year.
I mean, hey, if you're Bala, you don't go pro really in any FPS console esport, right? Without having a solid understanding of how to shoot a gun, right? And
Exactly.
you know what? If you can come into a situation like you said and just feel comfortable, exactly what Fisher Esports just did with Bala, you're gonna slay out, you're gonna play really well, and it's exactly what Bala did here today. And you can tell he's been putting the reps in, he's been putting his hours in that he needs to be successful, and he is playing on the academy team as well. So this Fisher Esports team has been very, very good. They will continue to be good throughout the rest of this regular season here, I'm sure, and I'm sure that this will be a team to be forced to be reckoned with come playoff time once again.
And you look back at the scoreboard from that game number 3 on El Cielo Control. That is going to bring Farmingdale State's record in control on El Cielo to 1-2. So, you know, this map just not looking comfortable for them as a whole. Not to mention, I mean, the series for them, still some things to be worked on as a team. You know, if you want to, you know, still hold at least the number 2 spot in your division next to Fisher Falcons. You know, you see sort of inklings of, you know, maybe the facts that you need for Farmingdale State to, you know, be that team to, you know, kind of step up to be, you know, maybe, I guess, that secondary team in this division. But definitely some things that are going to have to be talked about. Definitely some things that are going to need to be ironed out going into the remainder of the season. Looking back at this series, it just shows you how strong Fisher Falcons are throughout this. 250 to 120. Fortress Hardpoint, 6-3. Search and Destroy on Hotel, and a 3-1 on El Cielo Control. No, by all means, Jesse, it wasn't flawless at all, but there was no point in the series that Fisher were not in control.
Yeah, I really felt like Fisher just kind of, at the start of the series, just grasped it and really ran away with it, right? And it was not an easy victory, nonetheless, but they did exactly what they needed to do to get the job done. Every map had its ups and downs in it, but like you said, just in control from start to finish here today. And Fisher Esports, a team that's going to be very, very tough. Now, on the other side for FSC and Colin, I think when you're looking at this team, there are some positives to take away. Tez looks fantastic. I think he's going to be a very good player to build around for this roster as well. Now, the other 3 players, if you can kind of pick it up, get good reps in this, even this game against Fisher, even though it's a loss, good reps to look back at. And it's on stream as well, which is great because you can go back, you look through all the maps, watch the mini maps, see what you were doing wrong, see where you can kind of play a little bit better. And who knows, maybe next time they might be able to come out and take a victory against Fisher Esports. It's just that knowledge that you need to learn against better players over and over again.
I mean, some of the best losses, or some of the hardest losses, are the best places to, you know, figure out where to get better at. So for Farmingdale State, I'm sure they're going to look back at this, figure out what can go better next time around. And I cannot wait to see the way they bounce back, because this squad is nasty, folks. When we get set up for our match number 2, don't forget to show some love to America's Navy, our presenting sponsor for College COD. And it's not only America's Navy that you got to look at for them. It's their Goats and Glory program that they have. The Navy's Goats and Glory esports team provides a platform for people to engage with sailors and learn more about the opportunities the Navy provides while sharing a mutual passion for gaming. Ultimately, the team shows that sailors are just like everyone else. They have hobbies, interests, and families. Being in the Navy doesn't, you know, it doesn't, you know, stop you from doing those things. So go show some love to America's Navy. Check them out, and maybe you yourself could be competing on one of their Goats and Glory teams. We got match number 2 for College COD coming up after this quick break. We'll see you there.